We have Ahriman on Disc of Tzeentch versus Marneus Calgar for round 1, fight 1. I'm going to be just maybe saying Ahriman might take this off the bat, just looking at his abilities and his speed. Marneus Calgar definitely has a higher toughness, but if Ahriman can keep his distance and use some of those Cabal ritual spells, it might be tipping in his favor a little bit, but we're going to see. I'll be moving over the dice tray just a sec to see who's going to get the first roll. The two models are going to start on different sides of the table, so either Ahriman or Marneus is going to start here, and then across the table in this other bunker here is going to be the other model. So I had stated in the original video it was about 2 feet by 2 feet. It's actually more like 2.5, 3 feet by 2 feet. So they're going to cover this ground pretty quickly. Ahriman can move 10 inches per movement, and then Marneus has 6. So he's quite a bit slower, which I do, again, think that might tip in the favor of Ahriman. This is the first time I'm shooting this too, so I'm going to try a static camera that's going to be kind of propped up on top to cover the entire board. And then as we get closer, when they get into hand-to-hand combat or just closer range to each other, I might pull the camera off the tripod or zoom it in and see what we can do. I'm also going to be using my dice tray. So thank you guys for the patience right off the bat. It's the first time I'm doing this kind of one-on-one fight. It's not kill team rules. It's going to be the 40K rules for each model, and then they're just going to move closer and closer to each other, shoot at each other, get into hand-to-hand combat, stuff like that. So we will get this one starting. I'm going over to my dice tray now to roll, see who's going first. I'll go alphabetical, so Ahriman will roll first to see how he does on a d6, and then Marneus will roll after that, and then we will see who will be getting the first movement. And I'm hoping the editing will make this, nice and crisp and clean, and that there aren't too many too long takes in regards to, if we have 3 movements in a row or something kind of boring. But I'll chop it up when I start editing, see how what works best. And I've got a lot of battles to look forward to kind of get this thing perfected. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and here we go. Battle 1, round 1 for Fight 'em Up by Finnigan 40K. Alright, so in behind the dice rolling camera, this is going to be the first roll for the game here, seeing who's going to be taking the initiative to move first, and also what placement they wish on the board. So this is for Ahriman. It is a 5, very good roll. Let's see how Marneus does. We need a 6, and he got a 6. So I've actually been rolling pretty high on this board. It's brand new. Pretty sweet to have my hashtag Finnigan 40K in there. A little bit of a smaller board than my usual one, so perfect for this one-on-one fighting. But yeah, it's going to be Marneus getting set up on the board. I'll show you guys where he ends up, and then where Ahriman's going to be, and Marneus is also going to have that first movement. So here we go. Our models are placed on the board. I put Marneus in this corner here because I think it's a better advantage for him. If Ahriman was in this area, he might be able to get on top of these structures a little bit quick, just get a better point of view down towards Marneus. So I've placed him there, and then across the battlefield diagonally is Ahriman, so our Chief Librarian of the 1,000 Suns, and we're going to get this one kicked off. I'm going to be putting the camera up on the tripod, and I'm hoping that there's a good enough angle to see this entire board as we move forward. So I'm going to do that right now, get it popped on the tripod, and we're going to start this one off with Marneus Calgar doing his movement phase. We're going to be moving Marneus for his first turn. He has a 6-inch movement, so we're going to pop him right over here. They each have 6 wounds. So Marneus is not in range to shoot. He has an 18-inch shoot, but that space is going to close up really quickly. So right now, with his Gauntlets of Ultramar, he's hitting just past kind of the center of the board. Ahriman, with the ability to move a little bit faster, is going to be able to pick up some ground and hopefully get up on some high spots. So we're going to move him now. So Ahriman's popping right over here. I don't want these guys to be, messing around too much. So this might be the very first turn here. So move is done. Ahriman does not have an ability to shoot too far. His Infernal Bolt Pistol is 12 inches, and then he has a Psychic Stock, which is 18. So that is out of range currently. Just out of range. So it looks like Marneus is going to be moving in first. So it is back to Marneus for his movement. He's got that 6-inch move, so he's going to be popping right in. He needs to get the the drop here on Ahriman, because Ahriman has a very, very good Cabal ability as the lead sorcerer for the Thousand Suns. He can do any Cabal ritual without any cost to his points, and that's possible of doing some massive damage. So Marneus Calgar is in range now with his Gauntlets of Ultramarine. They are twin-linked kind of bolt pistols / bolt guns on the bottom of each gauntlet. Ahriman is in range. Yeah, and line of sight is there too. So this is going to be the very first shot by Marneus. And this is going to be Marneus Calgar's first shoot. He has his Gauntlets of Ultramar, which have 4 attacks, hitting on 2+. They are twin-linked too, so pretty amazing. Twin-linked is not allowed to roll the hit roll, but it allows you to roll the wound roll again. So 1 fell off there. And it is strength 4 versus toughness 4, so I need 4s here to wound, and I'll be able to reroll any that are not a 4. So 2 did not, but I can roll again. So 1 is through. It is a -1 to AP, which brings Ahriman from his 3+ to his 4+ invulnerable. So let's see if he can make a save here. He did not. So that means that Ahriman has taken 2 wounds, because the Gauntlets of Ultramar do a damage 2, so he has moved from 6 wounds down to 4 wounds. All right, so you guys just saw on the dice tray there, the Gauntlets of Ultramar did some damage to Ahriman. Missed 2 of the wound shots, tried to reroll, that didn't work, but at least Ahriman is down from 6 wounds to 4 wounds. The problem now is that it is back to Ahriman, so he is going to be able to do his movement here, so up to 10 inches. He's also flying, so he doesn't have to worry about any kind of crazy stuff. He's moved up on top of the structure here, and his shoot phase actually has a lot of capability. So I'm just going to go here to his profile. He has his Infernal Bolt Pistol, he has a Psychic Stock, and then he also has the Cabal of Sorcerers, and I'm going to be using this right off the bat. So this is his kind of freebie, and that is called the Doom Bolt. So it usually costs 7 Cabal points, but because of his ability as the Arch Sorcerer of Tzeentch, once per battle, you can select this model to use a ritual for 0 Cabal points. So that is what I'm doing, and this is the ritual I will be doing. I'm going to be moving over to the dice camera here in just a sec. And Doombolt, as we saw in the past, if you guys saw my Crusade narrative against the Thousand Suns, did some pretty good damage to a Chimera before it was chopped in half by Magnus. Luckily, we're not dealing with Magnus here, but still. So I'm going to go to the dice camera now. This is Ahriman's first shoot phase for the Battle 1, and it is called Doombolt. So the way this works is 12 inches of the Psyker, roll 1d6. On a 1, that enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. On a 2 to 5, that enemy unit suffers d3 plus 3 mortal wounds. And then on a 6, the enemy unit suffers d3 plus 6 mortal wounds. So this is actually capable of killing Marneus outright. So we're hoping for a very low roll here on the d6. Here we go. So he got a 2. So that's going to be 2 to 5. The enemy unit suffers d3 plus 3 mortal wounds. The invulnerable save cannot save against that since it's mortal. That was a joke throw there. So I'm going to do this. It's d3 plus 3 mortal wounds. Here we go. So that is 2 plus 3. 5 wounds have been delivered to Marneus right off the bat. That brings him down to 1 wound. So there they are staring each other down. Okay, so in that turn, we saw Ahriman use his Doombolt. Rolled pretty well. It was 5 mortal wounds that were delivered to Marneus. Marneus is down to 1 wound remaining, and Ahriman still has a couple of shoot abilities left. So we're going to see how he does right now. All right, so this is still Ahriman's shoot phase. He has his Infernal Bolt Pistol, and that is hitting on a 2+. My phone turned off there for a sec. I need that for the profiles. So 2+, you got it. It is strength 4 versus toughness 6, so he needs a 5 to wound. He got it. It is a -1 to AP, which brings Marneus up to a 3+ save, and he saved it. That's great. And now it is Psychic Stock, which is another attack by Ahriman, and it is hitting on a 2+. Got it. Rolled a 3, and it is strength 6 versus toughness 6. So this is 4 to wound. And he didn't get it. Rolled a 3. So that means Marneus does live on to continue to fight. Okay, so the rest of the shoot phase there by Ahriman didn't really do too much. I'm still very worried though, because Marneus does not have the capability to cover ground as quickly as Ahriman. And to actually engage him in hand-to-hand combat, he would need additional movement. So he does have a 6-inch move. I'm just going to see if there's some chance here that he might. Nope. So he's going to be coming right here with his 1 wound left, and I'm going to be firing at Ahriman with the Gauntlets of Ultramar, hoping that that's going to do something. For the Gauntlets of Ultramar, which is Marneus Calgar's shoot phase, 4 attacks hitting on a 2+. All are through, fantastic. 2, 3, 4, 5. A straight. It is strength 4 versus toughness 4, and I can re-roll these because it is twin linked, so we're looking for 4s. Absolutely fantastic roll. 5, 5, 6, 6, no need to double roll. It is -1 to AP, so that brings Ahriman up to his invulnerable save of 4+. And he's failed 3 of them. That actually might be enough to take him out. 2 damage per. It is 2, 4, 6. That means that Marneus Calgar has defeated Ahriman in the very first battle of round 1 of our Fight 'em Up series by Finnigan 40K. And we'll do a little synopsis there in just a sec from the other camera to show you guys how that all ended up. But Marneus Calgar, with 1 wound remaining, was able to kill Ahriman, the Chief Librarian of the Thousand Suns. All right, there we have it. The first battle is done. Marneus Calgar is moving on to the second round. We're going to have to see how the rest of the first round ends up. So Ahriman came out quick out of the gates there, was able to use one of the Cabal ritual spells, did a lot of damage to Marneus. He lost 5 wounds from the 1 attack, was able to save the other 2 with Ahriman's shoot phase sort of shooting weapons. And then Marneus, with 1 wound remaining, was able to use the Gauntlets of Ultramar to fire back. Ahriman did not get the saves he needed with the invulnerable, and there's 2 damage per, so it took him out. Ahriman was already wounded there during that last shoot. He had 4 wounds remaining, so Marneus only had to deal those 4 wounds, but he was able to deal 6. So that is the first battle done. Pretty cool. Very fast. Didn't know it was going to go that quickly. Some of the others might take a little bit longer, but if they're this quick, not too bad. If people want to watch, 7-10-minute videos, it's pretty cool. So next fight up is going to be Kavan Shrike and Typhus, and I will be right back to show you guys that bout.